creative community that I've kind of like brought together, you know.
No, absolutely. Talk to me about FRND Mag, bro. How did it? Because you mentioned it a couple of times, and I was sort of like, I was always going to go into it, but I might as well. Take me back right to the start. When did it start?
Yeah, so it started it was an idea I had in high school for a while.
Yep.
And I did something similar to it in research. You know, research project. Yeah, I hated that.
No,
but yeah, it was an idea I had. I did like a little kind of similar thing for my research project with like some local creatives, but basically, yeah, it was something I was going to pursue like later down the track. When I'm 20 now, I'm turning 21 next month. But yeah, I was going to pursue it when I turned like 25 or something, like when I had more money and like more. Anyway, yeah, basically I had been working at my job for a while, my supermarket job and that, and at that time I had been like kind of experiencing like a lot of panic attacks and just like wasn't really doing the best mentally. So I ended up just quitting, and I was just unemployed for a while. And at the time I was kind of like, oh, you know, like I have this idea for like a magazine. Might as well just like say fuck it and try it now and like see how it goes, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
And I messed around with some logos and stuff in Photoshop, and like I thought of the name FRND because the first issue 1 came out ages ago, but like it was basically all my friends from high school plus a few other creatives in the industry, and yeah, I just kind of like announced it on Instagram, followed like 500 people on Instagram, just like shared the word around, and yeah, sooner, I mean, I only got like 30 likes on each post, but at the time, but yeah, kind of started to get like a bit of a following going, and dropped the first magazine, had a few people buy it. Second magazine, more people kind of joined and stuff, and then probably by the time I was ready to launch the third magazine, we kind of had a bit of like a community growing. But yeah, it was the first 2 magazines were more submission based, so like I would kind of just like set a theme or like set an idea. People just send me their work, and then like it would just be mostly that, and interviews would be like via texts or phone calls.
Yeah, just to get it down.
And then yeah, issue 3, 4, and 5, and going forward from now, they were all like, that was like issue 3 was the first magazine where I like kind of dove into like doing all the photo shoots myself, interviewing everyone like in person, like creative directing stuff, pretty much doing it all. I mean, it was all myself before as well, but doing everything like myself and then editing all the interviews and stuff.
Yeah, a little bit more hands-on with
exactly, it. Exactly, yeah. More hands-on and more practical, and just like, I think, yeah, issue 3 was like, it was a cool one. So it was called The Kids Turned Out Alright, and so I had like had a lot of like cool like creative people in that. Steeler Flow, like Shab and those guys.
Yeah.
Odyssey's no longer a thing, but it was like like a model group basically. Like do you know who Adwave is?
No.
He's a model. He's actually in Japan now modeling, which is kind of cool.
Shit, there you go. Yeah, cool. That's unreal.
He's only like 18, 19 or something.
No way.
Yeah. But yeah, like all of them are basically different, like signed to different agencies, different models. But at the time, it was like a little creative group.
Yeah.
For modeling. Different people like Cameron Pozzo or Nabuki, who's like a musician. My friend, basically a bunch of different creatives and stuff.
Yeah. And all different strands of creativity. It's not just one. It's every different form that creativity comes in.
Yeah. So like with each magazine, I kind of try and find like creatives from different subgenres, I guess, in Adelaide, because we got so many different, like, when you look at Adelaide, a lot of people don't really see it, but like there's so many different subgenres and subcultures in Adelaide, and like for instance, like Nabuki, he's more from the kind of like what's his name's Casey's from like the kind of like the indie bedroom pop kind of vibe of Adelaide, and like Y-Kid, he's more like Afrobeats, Barcado, they're like kind of from all around, they're like ranging in the ages from like 21 to like 30 years old, to like different kind of genres as well.
Yeah.
And like Steeler Flow, Odyssey, like just so many different kind of like groups of people in Adelaide. And yeah, so I kind of try and like combine them and then like show off all the different kind of talents we have in Adelaide. And now I've kind of like extended to like interstate as well, because Australia's just like got so many talented people in it.
Australia's got so many talented people, like 100%. And so does Adelaide. That's to an extent that this help, like doing this podcast with people has helped me realize, like talking to people like Shab and Jai, and that has made me realize, I'm like, oh shit, like there's a whole scene here that I suppose you it's almost like if you don't know someone in it, you don't know it's there in a way.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's why I didn't know it was there, because I didn't know anyone in it.
Yeah.
And then you sort of begin.
Definitely, yeah. Like I think Oh yeah, FRND started in 2021, by the way.
Yeah, well, I was about to say, so 2021, is that when the first issue was released?
First issue was released like April 2021, but I started it in February, so it's actually 3 years of FRND Mag, like sometime this week.
Okay, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
And why FRND? Why did it start? Why that name?
I think there's kind of like a few meanings to it, I guess. One of them basically the first issue was all my mates from high school that featured in it. Not all my mates, but all the creative mates. And then, but also because I feel like in Adelaide especially, and the names become more prominent as I've like kind of grown and like met more people and stuff. But like everyone in Adelaide, you know, like kind of knows each other in some way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? Like whether you're mutuals or your mates or whatever, like, you know, like your uncle probably knows like your best mate somehow, or like, you know, it just goes on like that.
It's a small sort of place. Like everyone does know everyone here.
Exactly. Like I'll meet somebody at a club or like at an event, and they'll be like, "Oh, wait, you know, you shot with that guy," and I'm like, "Yeah," and then like just like spirals from there. Like so everyone in Adelaide kind of knows each other, and they're all kind of like friends in a sense. You know what I mean? Like,
once you establish that mutual, you can go from there.
Exactly. Yeah, and everyone, especially the creative scene in Adelaide, like, everyone's kind of like friends or mutuals in some sense. So I thought FRND was a cool name. I had the name Boys Cry before with my clothing brand, and I realized like it's actually a pain in the ass, like doing like because it's got so much deep meaning. Like doing BC is kind of like tricky, like breaking it down to like the initials, you know. But FRND, like, because it's just like 4 letters, it's really easy to just like brand.
And I also think strictly from a name perspective, I think FRND. Would I be wrong in saying FRND is probably a more inclusive name?
Definitely, yeah.
In that Boys Cry, as important as that message is, like you heard me before, like I'm saying, it's a super important message, but it's like boys cry.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Whereas FRND, that's
FRND,
everyone. Like,
exactly,
everyone has friends.
And I think like that's the thing. Like the name wasn't taken, thankfully, so I managed to get that as like a trademark or whatever. Trademark the name. But yeah, I think like if someone says FRND, like, they'll be like talking about FRND, or they even talk about their friend, or they're talking about FRND magazine now. So it's just like an easy name, easy to remember and just easy to say like name. And I think that's also something I wanted to do, because, you know, like I've seen other brands that have these long names, and it's like you're not gonna remember that shit.
No, dude.
Whereas like FRND is like 4 letters. I don't know. I feel like it's easy to remember. But yeah, so basically I named it because everyone in Adelaide's sort of friends in some sense.
Yeah.
And yeah, like as I kind of, every person I interview basically nowadays is a friend of mine, like, or even after like just meeting somebody like at my interview, like I'm like, oh, like we're mates basically now, like, sort of like, you know, like we're not maybe not the closest mates, but we're still mates.
You're mates, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
So yeah, I think that's kind of how the name stemmed, and was created. Yeah,
perfect. And there's been 5 issues.
5 issues, yeah.
Yeah, and each issue operates on a theme. Would I be wrong in saying that? Or maybe because I've seen some of your stories talking about like nostalgia, and I remember you do some polls regarding themes. Like, is that a new thing for only the most recent couple issues, or is that a thing at all? Am I way off?
It kind of started from issue 3 to 5. That was kind of themes, because it was more like hands-on, like more creating stuff myself.
Yeah. And what have they been?
So issue 1 and 2 were just like issue 1 and 2 basically.
Yeah, just the magazine. Yeah.
And then issue 3 was The Kids Turned Out Alright. Issue 4 was Euphoria.
Yep.
And then the most recent one was Nostalgia.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then we're going on issue 6, which I don't know when that's going to come out, but eventually come out.
It's in the lab.
Yeah. That's Homebody. So.
Homebody.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, that's sick. Okay, and how are you coming up with these? Is it just through the polls that I've seen, or is there something else to it?
It takes me a long time to come up with stuff. I kind of think about like different names and different kind of like potential like ways I can like shoot and work with creatives and stuff. Like Homebody, I'm kind of thinking to like shoot different like creatives in their houses, or like in like spaces that basically mean like home to them. But I had like a whole list that I wrote down in my notebook, and I kind of just like put them on my, because I'm really indecisive. Like I can make decisions, but I'm not the best at making decisions.
Yeah, so, it takes a while.
Yeah. That's all right. So usually I'll just chuck them on Instagram, like put them on my post or text them to my friends and stuff, and see like what everyone else is thinking. See like what people are vibing with and stuff, and if they like it, then I think Homebody and connectivity were like the two ones that got the most like things. And I kind of started thinking connectivity is going to be a really hard one to like. It's a really conceptual one. I'm gonna have to like think about. Whereas like homebody is pretty like.
You know what that means?
Yeah, pretty easy to.
Yeah. And what were the other two? Because there was 4, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was. There was a lot in the first one, but then I narrowed it down to 4. So yeah, it was homebody, connectivity. I think Wonderland, and what was the other one? I don't know. It'll come to me later on when I'm talking.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, and I feel like Wonderland is almost like connectivity in the sense that like it's conceptual and maybe hard to visualize and hard to put into like a hard copy.
Exactly. Yeah, I really wanted to do Wonderland, but then I kind of remembered there's like a magazine in America called Wonderland. Like it's it's like they have like the most like famous people on the front covers and stuff. It's like all the big rappers and like musicians and stuff. And I was kind of like, oh, don't really want to get like copyright or anything from that.
Yeah, for sure. No, that's understandable. Okay, and how do you have an idea of when the next issue might come up?
We're aiming towards like May, I reckon.
Where are we? March. Yeah. Okay. I was asking what month are we in? Yeah.
Aiming towards like sometime in May, I reckon, and then we'll do. I want to try and drop issue 7 this year as well.
Okay.
So that'll probably be like September-ish, maybe.
Yep.
It depends because there's like two different routes I want to go with issue 7 maybe because I always have to think ahead, I guess.
Yeah.
It'd either be similar to like this one, but like a different theme, or if I can afford to travel, I really want to like get some international acts in the magazine as well because I think that'd be quite cool. Like having Adelaide and like Australian acts, but then also having like, you know, like some cool like musician in like Canada or like the UK or like, just because that can also like I want to kind of take FRND Mag like to a global extent eventually. That way, like people in like the UK or people in America and stuff can see like Adelaide creatives as well, you know? Like,
yeah, for sure.
And kind of try and get it in some stores internationally. Yeah. So, but that's like if I can afford to, you know, because traveling's expensive.
Oh, dude, yeah, tell me about it. And are you doing? You mentioned the events. Are you doing launch events per issue?
Yeah, pretty much per issue. I really want to do more like kind of like conceptual events and like more like fun events, but it's once again it's just like so much money to run. And set them up and stuff. Set them up and like I don't really profit off any of my own events. I guess like I'm more in for the creativity and stuff than the money. I guess.
Are they ticketed?
They are ticketed, yeah. But tickets then go to pay off venue. Venue. I pay all the like creatives and stuff, so it's like DJs and musicians and like whoever's performing. I got to pay for audio. Audio equipment's expensive if you don't have it yourself, like mics and speakers and stuff. And then like I make a little bit like, but it's not enough to like then put on another event. It's like
to roll into the next
exactly.
one.
And then and then like if I have clothing brands like say a brand in Sydney or a brand from Melbourne or whatever, like I have to send them their money as well from whatever pieces they sell. So it kind of works, but I don't profit a lot of it. It's just like very much like just for the creativity and just for fun. Like Nostalgia, we sold out the tickets, we sold out all the events, but Nostalgia launch party, that was really fun.
When was that?
That was back in October. I think it was October 27 or 29th or something. It was like a couple of days before Halloween. Yep. But yeah, that was really fun. I set up like a little like a wall full of posters and stuff, and I had a couch. Everyone was taking photos there.
Oh, cool.
And just like artwork in the room. I always do it at this place called In Studio, which is in
I was about to ask where it is.
Yeah, it's called In Studio. It's at it's in is it Peary Street, I think. So
yeah. I don't know what, but I know Peary Street. Yeah.
Yeah, fairly close to London Mall.
Yep.
And so we just done a few events there. We did our Euphoria launch party last year, which was in I curated.
I was just about to say because I saw on one of your stories it was in the curated, and I interviewed I had him on the show, Samuelson, who I saw he was on one of the Get to Know the Adelaide Creative posts on FRND Mag. Yeah. So he came on here and we chatted for ages. But he's real tight with all the curated boys. That's how I know about them. I actually bought that beanie right there. Oh, yeah. He's actually from Curated. But yeah, no, that's a great setup in there. So which one was that?
That was like issue 4. So that was issue 4 Euphoria. So that was like launch party for that. Just a very small thing. Yeah. Back in January last year, and then did a collaboration with Conte Studios, which is my friend's clothing brand and like kind of fashion label. That didn't really have much to do with me. It was mostly just helping them get up and running. Yeah. And then Nostalgia launch party towards the end of last year.
Okay.
And then it's quite fun. I can kind of combine like the mixtures of like different music and like DJs, artwork, fashion, just like combining everything, kind of showing off Adelaide like in its own way, you know.
And how many people are usually at them?
It's usually like between like 150 to 200.
Okay, that's good numbers.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know the space the in studio, but I assume is it quite big?
No.
So 150 to 200 is quite. You're close?
Yeah. Oh, it's there's an outside bit, so a lot of people just like kind of go outside for a little smoke or the drinks are in like plastic cups, so just like sit on a curb and have a drink or whatever. But
for sure.
Yeah, it's not big, it's not small either. Like during the day, it's like a cafe, but.
Okay.
At night, like you can rent it out as an event space.
So do you get like bar staff in, like get a bartender in? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Drinks?
Yeah, that's something you have to pay for as well. That's another expense, but yeah.
I'll come do it for you. I'm a bartender.
Awesome, yeah.
Bro. And how do they usually look? Like you're saying, balancing so many different strands of creativity. Like, because I've seen the footage, I've seen the videos. You got, like you said, but there's also like dancers, there's musicians. Like, how do you have people scheduled to perform? Do you just get people in and they just go with it?
Yeah. So I had an event back in 2022 as well, which was like my first like gallery show I had. But yeah, that one and the concert event we had, like rappers to perform. So like the first event I ever did like myself, we had like Samuelson. We had who else we have? We had Samuelson, Ecstasy, and like Vans, which are part of Barcada.
Right.
And then my friend Kiki, she goes by the music name Kira, but yeah, you can find her on Instagram at Gyal, like Key, like Gyal, like Key.
Okay. I'll look.
Yeah, she makes really cool music as well. And then like the most recent one, the Can't Say one, that was we had like Bakio and Swizzer and like Y Kid and True Love and a couple of who's the other one that we had? I don't know. Do you know? Sasha said so. Like Alex, he's part of Cargo.
I know of Cargo, but no, I don't know. No.
Yeah, he was just DJing, and I think we had one more artist. I just can't remember who it was. We had Ecstasy, and yeah. But yeah, no, the events I kind of book them if it's DJs. I kind of book them in like scheduling. So maybe like an hour, then another hour, and like another hour.
Yeah.
Or like an hour and a half, like that. Or if it's musicians, I kind of have a timetable, like, you know, you guys got to be here at this time, and then you guys got to be here, like, basically, scheduling, basically.
Yeah.
With artists and stuff, I kind of just tell them, like, you know, get there, like, a couple hours before the event, set up your work, and then, we'll make sure it looks all good and everything. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much
but then once the night begins, it becomes quite free-flowing, is that...
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, like I mean, the artists can kind of just like go around, have a drink, like do whatever they want.
Yeah,
just gotta make sure they come at the end of the night to pick up the paintings and stuff, bring them home.
Yeah, of course.
And then musicians, I mean they can have drinks too and like do whatever they want as long as they're there like for the time when the set comes on.
Yeah,
we've had a few musicians like just not show up, but just like go missing for a couple minutes.
No way, just go. Oh, that'd be so stressful for me. I wouldn't be able to do that, man. I'll get an anxiety attack.
So usually when there's like musicians performing, I'm like running around. So all the events, besides from like Nostalgia, all the events I've been like running around, like kind of working. Nostalgia was the first one because it was more like we just had DJs instead of having like live performers and stuff. And people just, I thought it was, I wasn't sure how it was going to go because all the other events we normally have like someone rapping or something, and that's how we can sell tickets. But I found that just having DJs, people just wanted to like vibe out more and just kind of dance or just kind of like relax and like just kind of look at clothing, do whatever they want.
Yeah, I think because with a DJ you can sort of hear it and still do your own thing, whereas if it was like a live act, someone singing or performing, you sort of want to focus on them as opposed to just sort of roaming. And especially when you have, because you have multiple different brands, that what you're saying, like separate brands come in, set up stalls, sell their stuff. Yeah. No, it's really cool. And I love the events that you guys do. I went to, I was at Shabs. Were you at that Nurture Your Inner Child?
I was at the first one that Jai spoke at, but
I
wasn't at the second one.
Yeah, I was at the second one. I spoke at it actually. Yeah, it was sick. But yeah, like all you guys are throwing these events, they're awesome. I remember I walked in, I was like, oh man, like this is sick. Like, I didn't even know that these things are happening. Like it's perfect. It's awesome, and it's so good to meet other people. I've had. Do you know Jean-Pierre?
Title 27 guy, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know him like personally, but I know who he is.
Yeah, he's awesome. But yeah, so I met him at Shab's event, and then he came on here. Like it was awesome to be able to meet people, and I met so many people that night and just sort of network. So the fact that you guys are throwing these events is sick. Like, it's really good. And that, I suppose, is that something that you feel quite proud of?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I think like I love doing them. It's definitely something that makes me proud. Like because it's really cool to just see the whole, like, obviously magazines and stuff, I can show it off as well, but in person, seeing like everybody from the community, from the creative community, just like come together and like, you know, just have like one night to express them. I wish I could do more events because, you know, it's just expensive to do like by myself, but
of course,
yeah, I love doing it, and like the turnout's always great. Like people are always asking, like, I know people are always asking musicians or DJs like, oh, like when's the next one of these, and like they're like, oh, we don't know, but like yeah, we always get a good turnout, and like tickets are never no, you're good. No, tickets are never like too expensive either. They're like probably about sometimes they might start at like $10 and go to like maybe 20 bucks or so. Because yeah, I mean, I don't really want to sell tickets for too much because it's still small business and that. Yeah.
And you're right. And as you said, it's more about the expression of creativity as opposed to like a money making scheme.
Exactly. Like I'm like anyone who knows me knows I'm like pretty much like broke. Like I'm not like out here like making like mass amounts of money from from my creative pursuits and stuff. But it's just like it makes me happy and like I like doing it.
Of course, man. Yeah.
It's funny because like people I went to high school with, they'll see my like stories and that, and they're like, oh, you must be making so much money now and stuff. Like it's crazy, and I'm like, nah, but I'm still trying to make a living in that.
Yeah, he's doing your thing, which
exactly,
is sick.
Yeah.
No, that's perfect. That's the way to do it. Is that what you're most proud of? Is building this community, or is regarding the magazine? What through the magazine do you see and you sort of like, oh, like this is why I keep doing it?
I think like definitely bringing together creatives and stuff, and just like showing that, like, you know, like, you know, giving people an opportunity to just like present their work and like, you know, something greater than just like their own creativity, I guess. Like a lot of the people who feature in the magazine, like, actually, no, without the magazine, like I feel like there's not anywhere else for people to share their work, you know. Like a lot of I had some girl hit me up the other day in like DMs, like she was like, because she featured in the magazine last time, and she was like, yeah, like thank you so much for like letting me feature in your magazine. Like there's not really any other space like that out here. And I felt like, yeah, it's kind of true, low-key. Like if I, like, not to sound cocky, but if I didn't,
you don't.
If I like didn't have the magazine, there's not really any other like creative spaces or like publications that you can like publish, you know, your work into. And like I feel like with FRND Mag, like everyone can like obviously credit everybody. You can see like each creative, like I've had like so many people submit poetry and artwork, and like just a lot of like different musicians, and I'm always scouting and stuff for like people I can interview. Like the last magazine we had like Samuelson, we had Samuelson, Shamsha, he runs his band, I'm wearing a hat for Torfe.
Oh, yep.
We had my friend Tamara, she's a really talented poet and model and creative. You know Ziggy?
Yes. Oh, I don't know him personally, but I follow him on Instagram. I know his work.
Good Ziggy. He's 16 years old. He's doing like the craziest music videos right now. And it's so crazy. Like, I don't know. I just like trying to like help people out and like put them on in the creative scene, and just like give people different opportunities that they might not get otherwise. Because I know when I'm like even with him, like I know when I was 16, I would have loved if there was like a publication or something I could like show off my work and like be interviewed by somebody. And I did get interviewed, but it was more like, you know, like little like research project questions or stuff. It wasn't like anything big. Yep. I feel like and also just to find the creative scene. Like I think in Melbourne and Sydney, a lot of the creators and stuff were like really trying to find their scene. But Adelaide, there's not a lot. There are a lot of people, but it's sort of like still small in that. And like myself, I feel like Stilo Flow Cargo and a few other like businesses are far from homebound. A few businesses like that, like we're really trying to like change the scene, like shape it in a way that like makes Adelaide's creative scene like way bigger than it is, you know? Yeah, no, I agree, and I agree with what you're saying about how because you don't sound cocky, like if you weren't doing FRND Mag, there wouldn't be a place for it. Especially for the up and comers. Yeah, you know, like I suppose once you reach a certain level or status, there's always somewhere to go. Yeah. There's always somewhere to go once you're sort of at that level. Yeah. But you're right, for the sort of boots on the ground, up and comers who are trying to build a name where they can submit their own work and get eyes on it, Yeah.
Because I mean, that's attention is a currency in of itself. Getting eyes on your work is so important.
Definitely, yeah. And I feel like going back to the kind of like what makes you proud question, like I feel like especially when my mates like chuck me a text and like, oh, you're like, yo, I'm so proud of you. Like, this is like such a sick like magazine or whatever. Like, or like, yo, you did so well on this. Like, that's what really makes me happy in that. Like, because I'm like really big on like words of affirmation and that sort of shit. You know?
Yeah, I feel you.
And even like low key, like I've been to events before and like random kids have come up to me like, and now I know the kids and stuff are actually like cool creatives, but at the time they were random people to me. They'll come up to me and they're like, yo, like you inspire me so much, and I'm like, it's fucking crazy. Like, I'm like, I'm still young, you know, like and like a dude came up to me and he was like, yo, can I get a photo with you? And like, no one's ever asked me that.
No way, was that the first? Yeah. Shit.
And I thought he meant like get a photo of him because people always ask me to get photos at events. And we ended up just doing like a little like. Oh,
so you thought he meant like for you to take a photo of him real quick?
Yeah, so I grabbed my camera and he was like, no, I want to get a photo like with you. And I was like, oh shit, yeah, sure.
Oh, sick.
That's cool. And then
that's sick.
Yeah, even at my Euphoria event last year, like a kid came up to me and he was like, yo, like you're Zane, yeah? Yeah. And he was like, oh, like yo, I read your magazine, like you really inspired me, like you inspired me to make this like my own magazine, and like it wasn't like a printed magazine, but like the one he made from hand, and it was so cute. Like he interviewed his mom and everything.
Oh, no way!
Like that made me, because I was like running around. I was like really like at my events, I can be quite like anxious, I guess. And
yeah, I imagine it's quite stressful.
I've got like a lot riding on it, and like so many people to manage in that. But like that just made me like so calm and like so happy and stuff.
Oh man, that's actually beautiful. Yeah. What? That's actually.
Yeah,
it's like the most wholesome thing I've ever
Yeah, I know. And I was like, yo, I told my friend Jason, I was like, yo, come over here, look at this. And I was like, yeah, it's like so cute and like so
that's
like
awesome.
Yeah, it's like crazy to see because like I don't think about myself like inspiring people or like because I don't know, I feel like I'm still pretty humble in that sense. Like I don't really think about myself being like, oh, like I inspire people, because like when I think of like who inspires, I mean my friends inspire me, but like when I think on a whole scale, like if I was to go up to someone and say like, yo, you inspire me or whatever, it'd be more like, you know, like Pharrell or Tyler the Creator or someone like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like kids coming up to me, like I've got like a 1.5 followers on Instagram as well. I don't have a lot. Yeah, it's crazy to see. It's just like so cute and like so wholesome and stuff.
Yeah, it's beautiful, man. I can't like and oh man. I'm laughing because it's so awesome. I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm just like, it's beautiful. Yeah, and it's often the people who aren't trying to be that figure of inspiration that end up being it.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you're just being you. And honestly, in today's world, somebody just being themselves is inspiring.
Yeah, definitely.
Just being you and producing the magazine and producing these events is, you know, by not thinking about trying to be an inspiration, you become an inspiration.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful thing. How did the Euphoria event? How did you represent that?
Yeah,
I saw the nostalgia event. I saw the footage of it and photos and videos. For the Euphoria one, how did you visualize that? How did you conceptualize that?
That one was more. It was quite like very simple because it was just like created. And
oh, that was the one I created.
Yeah, so it was a bit more like. Wait, can I use my phone?
Yeah, no, dude. No. Yeah.
Yeah, that one was a bit more like more chill. We didn't really do too much for it. We put. Oh, actually, how do you know the show Euphoria?
Yeah, I know the show. Yeah, that's why I thought, because it would have been about that time. Was that about the time when it was massive? Like, was it a bit after that?
Oh, a little bit after, but still pretty massive in that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did a kind of like Euphoria dress code, like that very like, kind of like, yeah, just Euphoria.
I've seen the show. Yeah.
Yeah, like you know, like the eye makeup and stuff.
Yeah, and the sparkles and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So that kind of like eye makeup and all that, and then yeah, I'll just hang on, I'll show you.
Yeah, please take your time. Yeah.
But yeah, it was just like DJs and stuff, and like very, very low key and very chill. But yeah, I feel like that one.
That's the cover of the magazine issue.
Yeah. Yep. So my friend, one of my mates, Angus, we went to high school together. Him and I just started Boy Scout together back in the day. Yeah. So he had blonde hair at the time. And he was like, oh, like I sent him a photo. I was like, yo, it'd be sick if you could like dye like your hair with like the FRND mag logo, and like we ended up just linking up that day and just like bleached his hair like pink. And then
that's your friend there on the cover then. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like I just like wrote FRND in his hair with like black like black hair dye or whatever.
Yeah.
It ended up washing out like 2 seconds later, but we got an iPhone photo.
Yeah, you got the pic.
Yeah, and I just like drew like a bunch of like stuff around it, like Wait, I'll show you in a second.
Yeah, no, please, no. I was so zoned in. I was just like looking at it.
No, you're good. So
because it looks sick. It looks beautiful.
Yeah, so like let me find a cover. Yeah, so like that.
Yep.
Each little thing you can't really see, but like there's like guitars and there's like a violin and stuff.
I can see the image. I can see it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like all the little elements and stuff are kind of like they define different people in the magazine. So so let me see. There's like so there's like a guitar which and like a little like iPod which like represents a band called Lucy we had. There's like an ill-fated like skateboard, a camera which is my friend Nick. He makes videos and that. Like Inner Sanctum, like t-shirts and stuff, like just microphone for like Instant Classic with a musician in at the time. Every like I try to like hide little Easter eggs in each cover nowadays because I think it's like kind of cute and like people don't really know what they're expecting, but then like when they read the magazine they're like, oh, that t-shirt's from that brand or that's like from that, you know.
Mm-hmm. This honestly just came to me then. This is gonna sound like a really like basic dumb question, but how big is each? Like, how long is each issue? Like, how large are they?
No, that's not.
I'll go back to the other stuff, but like, I was like, if I was reading it, like, how many pages is sort of a standard issue?
Kind of depends. The most recent issue that was like 120 pages. I think.
Bro, I thought you were gonna say like 10.
No,
okay, shit.
It's like 120 pages. We started off only having like 50 to 70 pages or something.
No wonder it takes you sort of so long to
so it takes
make them.
Yeah. And like they started off kind of just being like the first two. They were like staple bound, which so I don't know if you have like a if you read a pamphlet or something, or like in high school if someone made like a little homemade zine, it'd be like staples in it basically.
Yeah.
Whereas like issue 3 to issue 5, they've all been like perfect bound, which is like that have like this sort of thing on it.
Yeah, so is that how the sort of higher up magazines, they're all like that?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And so it's more expensive that way, but it's also like the more
professional.
Yeah, it's more professional, and like you can't, I think any more pages than like 80 or something, you can't do like staple bound because the pages won't hold together. So
yeah, okay.
It
makes sense.
It's more professional that way and stuff. So I think the most recent one would have been like 120 pages. It was a big one. It cost a lot to produce, so we only made like 75 copies, and we actually sold out on the night.
Yeah, you sold them all. What's a standard issue cost?
I think it's usually like $25 to $30 that we do.
To sell them for?
To sell them for, yeah.
And what's the production?
Production's like expensive. It's like, I think the last one was like $20 per issue to print.
Oh, so the markup is okay. Yeah,
It's not a lot of profit, honestly. But yeah, to produce them, because it also depends on how many you make. So I was kind of down bad financially at the time when I bought them. So I wanted to do like 100, but I thought, okay, let me just play it safe. I'll get 70 or 75 or something, and then so I guess the less you buy, the more expensive it is to produce each magazine. But
yeah, of course, yeah. The bulk orders they get cheaper.
Yeah, if I had ordered like 100, it would have been like maybe 15, 16 per magazine, but still pretty expensive.
Still expensive.
Yeah,
that's still not nothing.
Yeah, because it builds up and it's like 1.5k, 2,000k, like 2.5k. It's quite expensive and stuff for magazines, especially in like this day and age.
For sure.
But yeah, no, I enjoy doing it, I guess. So it doesn't like, I mean, money does matter.
That's what money's for, though.
But yeah, and I mean, I do make back what I don't make profit really, but I make back what I paid to. That's good.
Yeah, you don't go down. You're not in the red for it, but there's just not a massive markup, I suppose.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of publications, like you look at Vogue. I feel like Vogue's kind of gone to shit these days. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't really read Vogue. So.
Vogue used to, like when I was a kid and I read it, it used to be like cool, but now all the covers are like the people on the covers are like like Joe Biden's wife was on a cover. I don't know if she has anything.
The fuck she could do
I don't know if she has anything to do with like fashion. Or anything,
yeah, I was about to say what.
And like I don't know, just like the most random like people. Because when I first I had like a subscription. I had my parents got me like a few years ago for like a year, and then we cancelled the subscription, and then they just kept sending it anyway because they kind of forgot to cancel it, or like they forgot to cancel it in their system. So we were just getting it for free. But
sick.
Yeah, no, like just the magazines like before. I feel like Vogue Philippines and like Vogue in other countries is really cool, but like Vogue. So I got off topic.
Vogue, there is no topic, bro. Just go.
and like Vogue in like the UK and stuff's kind of cool. Actually, I really like Vogue Philippines. That's really cool.
Vogue Philippines, okay.
They had this one issue. They had like a little like elderly like Filipino ladies like on the front cover, like in like I think like just like grandmothers and stuff in like like styled into fashion pieces that look really cool. But yeah, Vogue America is just like
lost its way a little bit.
It's all ads, and then like the writing is kind of
it's just commercialized shit.
For each magazine it's kind of like $9 for them, but they're quite thin. I like ID magazine. Do you know ID
Yep.
magazine? Yeah, for ID magazine it's like $15, I think, Australian.
To buy or
to buy, yeah.
Yep.
Production's probably cheap because they've been doing it for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my magazines are a bit more expensive than that, but in a sense, it's like it's locally produced, locally made, and like I also make it.
Is
myself.
it locally made?
Yeah, we get it made in down at Richmond in Adelaide.
Oh, cool.
Like Richmond Myland area.
Yeah, awesome. How did you get put onto them, or did you just find them just through sort of looking?
My friend, one of my friends told me about them because they run another like magazine in Adelaide.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. Okay, and so and when you're producing them, you said earlier when we do it, is it just you, or is there someone that helps you produce and make and?
Oh no, it's just I basically designed the whole magazine, like the PDF and everything, like in InDesign and Photoshop and that, and then I'll send it off to the production company in Myland.
Yeah. Okay. So it is just all you.
It's just me. Yeah. I say we because it's like a business, I guess. Like we, like as a company, I guess. But yeah, it's just me. Yeah.
So it's a months and months and months of prep. So so when was issue 5 dropped?
Issue 5 dropped end of October.
End of October. And have you been working on issue 6 since then, or did you have some time off?
I took a long time off because issue 5 had been. I started making that like last June or something, but because a lot of the time like scheduling artists and stuff, especially the busy ones, like it's quite tricky getting that like time for them to like shoot and like just organize them and stuff, because especially like everyone's like so different, like, you know, like one of the artists might be like 16 years old, everyone's like 20 with like a like uni degree and stuff, and it's like getting them on the same day to shoot or like it's just tricky. But yeah, it took a while, and then production's actually pretty fast, I'm not gonna lie, but just like saving up enough money to like get them printed is quite expensive. Like quite a long time. But typically, like if I was just doing only Adelaide and like I really just like had nothing else going on, had money to like spare, like I didn't have to go to work or anything. I could bang out like one issue in like 3 months or so. But that's if I had like the money. And
there's other factors,
yeah,
of course. Yeah. There's lots of factors.
Yeah, if I was on like really, really rich and I just didn't have to do anything.
If only.
Yeah.
Were you saying May is the goal for issue 6? Is that what you said?
May is the goal right now. Let's hope we can get it out, but it's probably May.
Homebody. Fingers crossed in May.
Yeah, fingers crossed homebody.
And there'll be another launch event.
Yeah, another launch event for sure. I think I want to try and find a different venue. Not that I don't like in studio, but I really want to find like a studio space with like really high like a white room, really high walls and stuff, so I could have like bigger, like artwork and stuff on the walls, and like just like kind of create a bigger space, like because right now it's quite small, and like we are getting a lot of people coming through, which is really good, but like I'd love to double it from like, you know, having 200 people to have like 400 people in the space, or yeah.
There was that venue. Do you know what are they called? Oh, I'm blanking. 360 Vintage.
Yeah.
Do you know them? Did you go to their launch event?
I didn't know.
They were at a space, and I'm trying to. It was. Do you know Cooper Stadium? Like the A-League, Adelaide United?
No, I think I know, because I think Cargo did an event there as well.
Maybe, because it was directly across from there, and that was quite big.
Was it in like Hindmarsh?
Yeah. Because that's where that is. It was literally directly across the road from Cooper Stadium.
I know exactly what. I don't know the name of it, but because Cargo, like Samuelson, Alex's thing, they did like a rave there.
Yeah, because I went to the 360 just to have a look, and that was they got like a full bar and everything in there.
Yeah.
And it's quite a big space. Yeah. It's quite large in there. They had a full projection and walls and I don't know. It just came to my mind then.
Yeah, and I think that could be cool. I think the only thing for me is like just like money, like cost and stuff as well, because it's like sometimes like I'll have like if there's other artists involved or like brands, I might have them pay like a section of it, not the whole thing obviously, but chip in a little bit, like not a couple bucks, but you know, like if it's like say we might